The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold.
Raider Nation, a trade for superstar pass rusher Haason Reddick could be on the horizon. Now, a little background on Reddick. He was drafted in 2017 by the Arizona Cardinals. He's 29 years old now, so he's about to enter his prime as a pass rusher. He's a two-time Pro Bowler in 2022 and 2023 with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's actually had over 11 sacks in each of the past 4 seasons. So look, he's a stud. There's no disputing that. He's a great pass rusher. But I would say the reason he is a trade candidate, I'm sure you guys are wondering if he's this good, why would a team be willing to trade him? The reason he's available in a trade candidate is because he's in a contract dispute right now with the New York Jets. You know, the Jets GM, Joe Douglas, in fact, traded a third round pick for him just this offseason, but he hasn't reported to the Jets training camp or facility because he wants a new contract. You know, he didn't play against the San Francisco 49ers in their week 1 game. He's willing to miss out on game checks because he only has 1 year left on his deal, and he's only slated to make around $12 million per year. So for a guy of his caliber, that's really severely underpaid. He's worth a lot more than 12 million. That's how he feels. That's how his agent feels. And that's why he's holding out currently. And I think the logical conclusion of this is he's going to be traded because the New York Jets have shown no proclivity or want to pay this guy any more money. Their GM has flat out said, we're not going to pay him a new contract. And so I think that is a logical conclusion that he's going to be traded. That's what a lot of the articles and beat reporters around the Jets have been saying. And so that's where the Raiders, in fact, come in. Everyone knows Malcolm Koonce made a video on this. He injured his knee in practice a few days ago. And unfortunately, we don't know how serious his injury is. You know, I've heard reports that he could be out for the season. And, you know, even if he is out for the season, I know a lot of fans want to re-sign him. And I wanted to too before the injury. But if you have a long-term outlook on the Koonce situation, Koonce's entire game comes from his ability to bend off the edge. That's his best attribute. You could even say he's better than Max Crosby at that. He's elite at bending off the edge. That's what he does best. That's his superstar trait as a pass rusher. But that bend, all that comes from is his knee. If you don't have a strong knee, you can't bend off the edge. And so let's say he tore his ACL. We don't know that. That could be the case. But if he tore his ACL, that could hurt his game massively going forward. And he might not be the same player that he was at the end of last season. And look, Tyree Wilson, again, he got hurt the first drive of the Charger game. We don't know how severe that injury is, but I made a video on this, a film study. He did not look good in preseason anyway. You know, I think a lot of fans, the jury is out on Tyree Wilson to be that bookend opposite of Max Crosby. So, look, everyone thought Malcolm Koonce was going to be that, but this year it's not looking like he's going to be that bookend opposite of Crosby. And when you look at Reddick, the compensation the Jets are likely to want for him, it's going to be closer to a fourth or fifth round pick, which is, in my opinion, a steal for this caliber of player. You know, it's rare for a guy like this, a bona fide superstar pass rusher. Those are hard to find. John Gruden once said that. They're really hard to find in this NFL. And he's available for a fourth or fifth round pick. And, you know, I know he wants a new deal. That's clear. I already mentioned that. But if you look at our cap space, I'll put this on the screen. We have $28 million of cap space, which is really high. $28 million of cap space. And so I think, honestly, Telesco, if he was a smart GM, he can structure this deal like the Chandler Jones contract. You know, you can front load the deal, give him a lot of guaranteed money up front, you know, sign him a check, signing bonus, whatever you want to call it. So worst case, if he doesn't produce down the line, you can always cut bait, move on for no dead cap, and you can easily just pivot at that point. But if it does work out, you know, you give a much needed spark to your defense. You know, the defense was good week 1, but I think the one thing it was missing was that edge opposite of Max Crosby. That's why the Chargers were able to burst out those 2 big runs at the end. We didn't have that opposite end presence. We had Charles Snowden out there, who's a rotational depth guy. And so it gives you a spark on the defensive side. You know, the team struggled week 1. I think this would enlighten the fan base, you know, provide a jolt of energy to an organization that needs it right now after a struggling week 1 loss. And Max Crosby, I think he's a really good player. That you can't argue. He's a superstar edge rusher. He's probably the best edge in the NFL. You could say that. But the one knock on him that I have is he should come off the field more because when you're stretching yourself out thin, I know he has a high motor, but you have to take plays off if you're an edge rusher because you could get hurt, you could risk injury, and you're not going to produce at the high level at the end of the game because you're going to be worn out if you don't take snaps off. So you get a guy like Reddick to take out some of the burden that we're putting on Max Crosby currently. That lets Crosby's career get extended and his play get better. And so you're only going to help the defensive line. You're only going to help the defense. And I think it would be a no-brainer move to bring in a guy like Haason Reddick. But Raider Nation, let me know. Would you guys want Hassan Reddick? You want to stick with the guys we got, or would you want to go trade for a guy? Maybe sign a guy like Yannick Ngakoue, who we've been familiar with. Video coming on that shortly. But yeah, let us know. Leave a comment down below. And Raider Nation, we really appreciate the support recently. Continue liking the videos, leaving comments down below, sharing this page with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit that 1,000 mark for monetization. Your subscription's free to you guys. All it is a click of a button, and it goes a long way for us on this channel. So, Raider Nation, until next time, we'll catch you in the next video, and thank you.